Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Liz Bishop. We begin this noon with breaking news out of Waterville. The students at the junior-senior high school are being sent home right now after a bomb threat. This is the second in 2 days for the district, and our Matt Markham joins us live now from Waterville with the latest on this situation there. Matt, what's going on?
Liz, I'll show you what's going on right now. You can see there's at least a fire truck that's moving away from the campus here in Waterville. Coming down, all the students have already left. They're down at the dome near the Waterville Firehouse. From what we understand, there's a large number of students down there now waiting for their parents to come pick them up because there will be no more school for the rest of the day. If you are a parent and you're checking your kid out, it's best to get down there now and be ready to wait because from what we understand, there are a lot of students that are there at the moment. You can also see there is a police presence here at the school. This is a neighborhood too. I was just talking to a mother not more than 15 minutes ago who actually picked her kids up from that location. Not only is she scared about this bomb threat at the school, but she's also fearful for her house and her neighborhood here and the possibility that perhaps this is just a prank. Of course, the police is investigating that right now, but she has her kids home for the day. We also spoke to another student who's a senior at the school who said that there was a fire bell that went off. They brought all the kids down to the dome in Waterville where he was then picked up. But on the way down, police and authorities were searching lockers. There were canine dogs at the school. And also, you talked about that first bomb threat. The mother we spoke to said that she saw police activity up here at the school last night. So there are very many questions about what actually is happening here right now. But again, the most important thing, if you're a parent and you have a kid who lives in this, who goes to school in this district, you can go down and get them on the dome. Second here in Waterville, right by the fire department. We're on our way down there now. We'll have more details for you on the web first and then on the air at 5. Reporting now in Waterville now, Matt Markham, CBS 6 News. Liz?
All right, Matt, and certainly if there are any new developments, we'll go back to Matt for the latest. Well, the women's winner has crossed the finish line, and the Boston Marathon happened just a few minutes ago. More than 36,000 runners are competing today. Another 500,000 or so spectators are on the streets as well, watching and cheering on their favorites. There are more rules in place this year after last year's deadly bombings killed 3 people and injured hundreds more. No backpacks are allowed. Everyone had to bring their belongings in clear plastic bags. Fans were also encouraged to leave behind strollers, and more than 100 cameras are along this race route. 50 or so observation points are at the finish line to keep an eye on the crowd. The Boston Red Sox started their Monday game against Baltimore about an hour ago, and both teams and the fans held a moment of silence before the game to remember the victims from last year's marathon bombing and 2 firefighters who died on the job in Boston last month. Our Julia Dunn joins us live now from Boston Common on Boylston Street near the finish line. And Julia, obviously a very big day. Everyone wanted to come out, Boston strong, show their support. The streets just filled from what we've seen on TV. What's it like there in person?
Good afternoon, Liz. We're at the corner of Boylston and Arlington Street. The barricades are right behind me here. This is one of the dozens of checkpoints before you actually go in to the area where a lot of the streets are blocked off. The finish line, just to give you a perspective, is several blocks up where all these people are trying to get into. And, you know, you're describing the security here. We've been walking around for the past 2 hours just in the general Copley area, which is where the finish line is. Not only can you hear the police presence, it's definitely visible. There are helicopters. I'm not sure if you can pick up the sound of the helicopters that are circling above this area. There's probably a police officer, either an officer on foot, a cruiser, or bomb sniffing dog every 50 feet that you walk once you get inside this barricade here. Once you get inside there really is limited mobility for pedestrians. You're kind of funneled along the race route, but definitely a huge security presence today. But you know what the great thing is it doesn't seem to be doing anything to the friendly atmosphere. There are so many people out here today. Everyone looks happy. You have older people, younger people, a lot of families coming out. Everyone, as you were describing, wearing the Boston Strong shirts. So even though the security is really tight, and of course people are thinking about the events of last year, it doesn't seem to be dampening anybody's spirits. And the weather is, you really couldn't ask for anything better. We're going to be out here today. We're going to be speaking to a couple of people from the capital region that are now running the race. And that's going to be a little bit later on this afternoon. And we'll join you back here at 5 o'clock. But right now, beautiful day in Boston, and everyone seems to be having a really good time. Back to you, Liz.
All right, Julia Dunn reporting for us live in Boston. Happening in less than an hour from now, the trial of a Troy teenager who is accused of murdering her father is set to resume. And the jury may get to hear from the teen in person, as her defense attorney says he'll put her on the stand. Tori Wells joins us live from Troy this noon with what we can expect in court today. And Tori, what are we looking forward to in court?
Well, as you mentioned, in just about an hour, jurors will be back inside this courthouse here. This afternoon, they will continue to hear Trinity Copeland's grand jury testimony as it's read by the court reporter. And that testimony sheds a lot of light on what Trinity Copeland will say when she takes the stand in her own defense. Now, as of Friday, her attorney still believed that she would testify in this trial. Now, in the grand jury testimony, Copeland said that she did shoot her father, but she said it's because he gave her no choice. She said he was upset about money she stole from his debit card, and Copeland told the prosecutor that her dad said he would shoot her if she didn't shoot him. Now, the judge told the jury on Friday that he thought the prosecution would wrap things up this afternoon. If there is time, then the defense would begin, and it is quite possible that Trinity Copeland, that we would hear from her in person. We will be back inside that courthouse in just about an hour, and we will bring you the latest starting tonight at 5. But for now, we're live in Troy. Tori Wells, CBS6 News.
All right, Tori, thank you. 2 teens in Amsterdam are in some big trouble after investigators say they set off bottle bombs last night. State police say they found 12 bottle bombs along Division Street. Several had apparently already gone off. 5 more were ready to go. Police say 6 more were also set off behind a factory on Yeoman Street. 2 14-year-old boys whose names are not being released were arrested and charged with criminal possession of a weapon, placing a false bomb, and reckless endangerment. They'll be arraigned in family court this afternoon. Investigators in Ulster County need your help finding the shooter who killed a man and wounded another person over the weekend. New Paltz police say Ryan Gray of Poughkeepsie was killed early Sunday morning inside Murphy's Restaurant and Bar on Main Street. It's a popular student hangout. Investigators say the other victim is in stable condition and that the shooter remains at large. And Schenectady police continue to search for the gunman who put a Schenectady man in the hospital over the weekend. 22-year-old Mervyn Bingham was shot in the chest around 9:30 Saturday night outside a convenience store at the intersection of Van Vranken Avenue and Mason Street. Bingham was taken to Albany Med, where he is in stable condition today. Police have no information to report so far on the shooter. Time now to see how things are looking outside. We'll give you a live look at downtown Albany and what's turning into a pretty nice day. Meteorologist Nick Johnston here now with first weather. And Nick, seems a little warmer even than yesterday, so I'm maybe wondering about a 70-degree temperature?
Yeah, Liz, actually today will be a little warmer than yesterday, and we will get close to 70 degrees today. So you might have noticed Julia also enjoying that nice weather there in Boston. Perfect weather today for the running of the marathon. Today, warm and dry, just a pleasant day to get outside. But unfortunately, all week is not going to be quite as nice. Now, tomorrow will be similarly warm, but during the afternoon, we'll be seeing some rain showers breaking out across the region. And then for Wednesday, it's not going to be as warm. We take a dip in temperatures. It's going to be cooler and a bit breezy for your Wednesday. So what does that mean? Well, enjoy today as much as you can because it's going to be a great day. Mix of clouds, just some high clouds. Still mostly sunny, which is what you saw on the Albany Skycam. And temperatures right now close to 60. We're still rising, close to 70 by the time it's all said and done. And then overnight tonight will be relatively mild, quiet. While we will see an increase in clouds, we're still likely to be dry through the overnight hours with an overnight low around 45. So coming up, I'll tell you when those showers will become likely tomorrow and what's going to happen to our temperatures later this week. That's all in just a few minutes. Liz?
All right, thanks very much, Nick. And we have a nationwide consumer alert for you today. Oscar Mayer fans, you're going to want to listen up because Kraft Foods is issuing a recall for the popular brand's classic wieners because the labels are wrong. Kraft says about 96,000 pounds of hot dogs may include cheese dogs, which the labels don't include milk as an ingredient. Of course, that's bad news for anyone who's lactose intolerant. The 16-ounce packages were produced in March and distributed throughout the United States. Well, heading to Ukraine, what Vice President Joe Biden's mission will be the next couple of days after a deadly shootout there over the weekend. We'll be back. And breaking news we're following out of Waterville today. Students at the senior high school, as we mentioned, are being sent home right now after a bomb threat there. This is the second in 2 days for the district. No injuries reported so far. Matt Markham is at the scene now and will keep you updated on air and online as more details become available. There is continuing coverage on the crisis in Ukraine. Vice President Joe Biden will meet with Ukrainian leaders in Kiev today after a weekend of violence in the troubled country. You can see him here. He was actually arrived this morning, and he's expected to come up in discussions in the international effort to keep the country safe. Also plans for Ukraine's presidential election, which, as you know, is set for next month. The leaders there say at least 3 people were killed at a checkpoint that was set up by Russian supporters. Russia and its supporters in Ukraine say that Ukrainian nationalists are to blame. Ukraine, though, says the whole thing was staged by people from outside its borders. Vice President Biden is scheduled to be in Ukraine on tomorrow. And the Discovery Channel says it's canceling a special on Mount Everest that was following last week's tragedy on the mountain. The program, called Everest Jump Live, was supposed to air on May 11th. 13 people were killed and 3 are still missing. Rescuers called off their search for those missing over the weekend. It's the deadliest accident on the world's highest mountain. And have a look at a meteorite shooting across the sky. This spotted over the weekend in northern Russia. No injuries were reported from this one. It was a year ago, though, that a large meteorite exploded there and caused some injuries. Scientists say about 500 meteorites reach Earth each year, although many are just too small to be spotted. Well, we got well, there's what we've got. You take a look at that gorgeous day out there, and we'll find out more about the little warmer temperatures we're expected. Nick's up next with the forecast. Let's get a preview. Nick?
Thanks, Liz. Yeah, can't ask for much nicer weather than what we've got right now, and the rest of the week we'll be taking a bit of a dip. I'll tell you when the temperatures will dip and when to expect some rain coming right up.
CBS6 News, the Weather Authority.
Just a few high clouds allowing the sun to shine through on downtown Albany, and that sunshine has been doing a good job of warming up our temperatures. It's pretty nice out already, 59 degrees, and we're going to continue to rise all the way to near 70 before dropping later tonight down to 45. Relatively mild and pretty quiet overnight tonight, and we're still rising. Here's the latest temperatures from across the region. 50s, low 60s, but remember, we're still climbing. Getting close to 70 today, mid to upper 60s in spots, close to 70 as you head further south. 64 already in Glens Falls. Ahead of the curve there, 57 in Lake George, 57 in Saratoga, Schenectady at 55 degrees, but rising steadily. Albany at 59. It is already at 60 in Valatia, Pittsfield, 61 in North Adams, 62 in Bennington. Mild, pleasant, light winds and sunshine. Today is a great day to get outside. Winds also not a problem, about 5 to 15 miles per hour, a light breeze. Enough to maybe notice, but not going to cause any problems at 6 miles per hour in Albany. Mostly clear with some high cloud cover now across the capital region. We're finding more of the clouds to the north. That's where they've been all day long. Not likely to see any showers across the region. Those few light showers are staying up near the Canadian border. In the meantime, high pressure is trying to do battle with those clouds, giving us some filtered sunshine. Doing a pretty good job, and also helping to pull up those warmer temperatures out of the south. Now today and tonight we stay generally dry, as that high pressure still has some influence. But starting tomorrow, especially in the later part of the day, that's where these rain showers will be moving in, and then eventually, after that cold front crosses, we'll see a cool down in the temperatures. But we're still warming up right now, and today is going to be a nice day outside. 68 degrees, the high today in Glens Falls. Saratoga, 69, close to 70. Schenectady, these are above average and warmer than we were yesterday. 61, the normal high. Most of us will be well above that today. Further south, 70 Albany, 70 Hudson, close to 70 Schoharie. Durham, upper 60s, 71, the high today in Kingston. Now, tomorrow will be similarly warm, with a high again near 70. The difference, tomorrow afternoon, we're likely to be dealing with some rain showers, and we'll see a lot more cloud cover during the day tomorrow. So while it will be warm, it may not be quite as nice a day to get outside. I want to break down now when to expect that rain. This is 1 o'clock, and it's matching up very well with what I showed you on the satellite radar. Clouds to the north, more clear skies to the south. Nobody's seeing much rain, though. This is at 1 o'clock. As we head through the rest of the day, we're not likely to see much rain. And even overnight tonight, we'll see some clouds. This is 10 o'clock, but we're still generally dry. Through the overnight hours, not likely to see anything. Yes. Starting Tuesday, dry as well. And in fact, the first half of Tuesday looks dry, and while it will be mostly cloudy, it's going to feel pretty nice outside with those warm temperatures. This is 8 a.m. Still dry. It's not until afternoon where we start seeing our better chances for those rain showers. This is 12 p.m. Now we're starting to see those scattered showers showing up off to the west. And during the middle to later afternoon hours, that's where that rain comes through. Into Tuesday night, 10 o'clock, yeah, we'll have some showers through the overnight hours, but they are expected to stay rain. Tuesday night, showers possible and maybe a few showers for Wednesday morning, but those showers should be ending pretty quickly. The bigger story for Wednesday will be a bit of a breeze and a drop in temperatures, with highs for Wednesday only in the mid-50s. That's about a 15-degree drop from where we are right now. So that's certainly a drop you'll notice. Doesn't look bad, though. Thursday, mostly sunny, back to 60 degrees. Liz?
All right, Nick, thanks very much. And we want to let you know that the men's winner has now crossed the finish line at the Boston Marathon. And it's quite a story, too, because he is the first American winner of the Boston Marathon since 1983. Meb Keflezighi is the winner of the Boston Marathon. The men's winner, Rita Jeptu, won the women's race. And, of course, there are still thousands of runners on the course. It will take some time before they all finish their races. But so far, an incident-free Boston Marathon and an American winner for the first time in, 31 years. So that's quite an exciting event and certainly memorable, especially after the violence and the terror of last year. All right, we move on now. When it comes to fraud, criminals have their sights set on seniors or their grandchildren with a cruel trick known as the grandparent scam. Ruth Teets from Baptist Health is here now with what you'll want to know so you don't become a victim. And it always seems so awful that scams in general are terrible, but to target the vulnerable, the elderly, who are so much more trusting, it seems to me, is just terrible.
It is terrible. It really is a heart-wrenching one. The exact details of the scam vary widely, but our senior will often receive a phone call from someone pretending to be their grandchild in distress. They'll claim to be in trouble or say they had an accident with a rental car, or they were on spring break and got a DUI and need money for a lawyer, that they're in trouble, they don't want mom and dad to know. So, Grandma, Grandpa, can you help me out and send me some money? And then, emotions get going and it just takes on a whole, terrible life of its own.
And oftentimes before they do some due diligence to find out where that child might be, is he safe, is she safe, whatever, they've sent the money. And why we're talking a little bit about the vulnerability of the elderly. Why do they become such big targets, do you think?
Well, I think one of the reasons is oftentimes they might, the folks over 65 are home more. They're able to answer the phone. Over $3 billion a year gets fleeced from seniors through scams like this. It's really troubling. And I think what happens often is they get a phone call from their grandchild. They want to help them. Maybe they don't hear from them enough.
Yeah.
And then one thing leads to another and they're wiring money before they realize what they're doing. One of the things that they can do to protect themselves a little bit is make sure that they ask the question to their grandchild of something personal that only they would know, an imposter wouldn't know, like maybe the name of the high school they went to or the name of their pet, something like that.
Yeah, and that seems to me the most critical part. Now that, by now I think everybody is aware of this, or if not, this is a good reminder that this is out here, this grandparent scam. But are there other safeguards that people can take to protect themselves?
Absolutely. Don't wire money over the phone unless it's you have a reason to do it and you know why you're doing it. Don't do it on an emotional whim. And make sure that you know who you're talking to. Make the person identify themselves. We have information on this. We have a handout that we'd be delighted to send out to you. If you want to just contact us at Baptist, we'll take care of it. Okay, that's bapthealth.com on the web and 370-4700. There it is. There's your graphic, and you can also go to our website, and all that information there is there as well. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more in just a minute. People are actually happy these days, and I think the weather has a lot to do with that, Nick.
I think you're right, Liz. After such a long cold season, it really is a mood elevator when the sun comes out. It's going to be a beautiful day today. If you have the opportunity, try to enjoy it. Tomorrow will be similarly warm, but it will turn wet in the afternoon.
All right. Well, then we'll definitely get a chance to enjoy today. Thank you. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you again later tonight. Bye-bye.